a real farm, so if you look really closely, the caterpillars have gotten in. They are attacking my kale. They're all over the top of my Brussels sprouts, so I'm going to be cutting some of this kale out of here. I discovered this, so I can see that they're all over anything that has to, do with brassicas, things like that. So for whatever reason, they really like the kale, so we're just going to be taking this right out of here because these guys are nothing but problematic. And I've got 1, 2, I think there's a third, oh yeah, and there's a third one right up here. So I started noticing this actually happening yesterday while I was harvesting with my harvesting video, and as you can see, they've been all through this kale. They've left excrement everywhere. There's holes in it everywhere. So time to take it out and kill these guys and get rid of them. So guys, see, there's problems in greenhouses too. We're not immune to it. It does happen, but if you do see these guys, you normally would take them out and you would throw them in a bucket of water, soapy water, get rid of them, or I just normally squish them. But I'm going to be taking the kale out because it is going to be seeding soon anyways. So it's just time to get rid of it. So I just wanted to share that with you and show you some of the difficulties that I'm now experiencing inside the greenhouse in terms of bugs. We have had the moths in here, so it's just one of the things that happens. Moving through the garden, you can actually see where they've also taken over some of my horseradish leaves here and the damage that they've caused. And these couple of leaves actually weren't like this yesterday. So it's unfortunate, but the caterpillars obviously have checked in to my dome. But you can see all the damage that they're causing. Now, I'm not too worried about horseradish. It kind of just does its own thing. It grows like a weed, but this has given me evidence that I'm now going to have to start caterpillar hunting. As you can see, all the leaves where they've chomped everything out. There's big holes everywhere. Half of this leaf is actually almost eaten. Now, they were in the same bed. The kale was in the same bed as this one, and I'm not seeing any evidence of sort of the caterpillars hanging out on the leaves, and sometimes they can be army worms too that sort of come out of the soil. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but like I said, we'll be checking. I'm just going to hop over here and check the Brussels sprouts because I guarantee with caterpillars in here there's going to be damage up there too. So let's hop up there and see. So here we are checking the Brussels sprouts this morning. So yeah, so I can already tell that we've had some visitors here in terms of caterpillars because they're leaving their excrement all over my leaves. And there's holes starting to form in the leaves, obviously, because they're out here chomping away. And on the other one here, I'm actually seeing some evidence of, if I can get that really close there, you can just see some evidence basically of them leaving their excrement behind on some of these, and some of the Brussels sprouts have holes in them. So I'm just gonna climb up here because I can, because there's a lip actually on the raised garden bed here, so I can just climb above and take a look just at the top of the leaves here and see what's going on, which is kind of handy. Yeah, so if you look in here, I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's definitely evidence of caterpillar excrement at the top here. And holes, of course, through the leaves. So we've got some visitors. Let's check the top one. Oh yeah, there we go. So he's right at the top, chomping along. And he's just, leaving excrement everywhere. So it's a good thing and just to come out in the morning sometimes and check your cabbages, check your broccoli. That's going to be the next thing I'm going to check. These guys need to go because they will just put a beating on your crop. As you can tell, I've got severely chewed leaves at the top here. And sometimes, 1 or 2 caterpillars can really, really damage your garden. So we're going to get rid of this guy. I'm going to actually squish him. Get rid of that guy. So far, I'm only really seeing one, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. But look at all the damage, guys. And that was a fairly big caterpillar. And no doubt they're probably all, actually on all of them, if you can see here on my other one, just against the wall. We've got some chomping going on here too. So no doubt that we'll find one or two in here. You can see the caterpillar excrement in there as well. Oops, let me just back that out. Getting this leaf. So we're gonna have to be doing some examining of my plants today up the top here because they're taking a beating. The Brussels sprouts are still doing fine. You know, they'll make it through as long as I keep this in check. I'm just gonna go around to the other side and see what I can see here. But I gotta climb down to do that. So let me do that and then I'm gonna put the camera back on. Okay, so I'm at the last two of the Brussels sprout plants, and as you can tell, this guy's kind of taken a beating too. Obviously, these guys were in here a lot sooner than, because I don't really get up here very often, so this is going to be something that I'm going to have to keep an eye on, but they've been up here just munching away on my plants. And as a matter of fact, here's one right in here. If you see that he's just in there on that leaf. I hope you guys can see that. So we're going to be mitigating the caterpillars. So once again, we're going to be actually squishing this guy. Trying to get to him. He needs to be squished and out of here. Oh, and there's another one. Look at that, guys. Now, I'm up way too high to carry a bucket of soap with me, so I apologize if anybody gets squeamish over squishing, but I do a lot of squishing. So that's 2 on that one. Oh, and here's a 3rd one. You guys can see that guy. Squish. Sorry, dude. But it's amazing just how much damage 2 or 3 of these caterpillars can do. Not to mention all the mess they leave behind. So these are some of the things, obviously, that we experience every day. It doesn't matter if it's inside, outside. These are things that you still have to mitigate when you're in a greenhouse, whether you know, it's closed or it's not. You're always going to have to mitigate the caterpillars. You know, you let the good in with the bad. I always let the pollinators in here, but unfortunately, it comes with, you know, having the moths get in here too, and having a go at some of the leaves and just all the damage they did. It's unbelievable. You're never going to be able to keep out 100% of the bugs. As long as you can try to mitigate it and keep it under control. I'm not going to be spraying anything in here, only because I only have 6 plants, and then we're going to check the other kale. But so far, from what I'm seeing, they're just really attacking, you know, the tops of the Brussels sprout plants and some of my horseradish, and the rest of the stuff seems to be okay, but we're going to check the other. We're just going to check one last plant here. Oh yeah, look at the evidence of this, guys. The caterpillars are all over this one. And I think I see, yeah, so he's in there just chomping away. Can you see him? How many was that? I lost track, you guys. So unfortunately, we got to get rid of this guy. I only see one so far. You guys let me know on camera if you see anything else that I'm missing. Sometimes they like to also just sort of stay in the rolls of the plant, which I don't see anymore. So far, I'm only seeing one. But if you guys spot one on camera where I've missed it, you let me know. Actually, I just found one, but he's a baby. So let's move down. See this guy? I don't know if you can see him. He's so small. There's a baby. He's got to go. So I got to keep an eye on this plant, on these 6 plants, so that we can make sure you know, that we get our crop. I'm gonna spray them down because it's kind of yucky that I have all the the worm guts up here, but they just really had a go at these plants before I had an opportunity to get to them. So I'm just gonna go check the other kale plant, but definitely gonna keep an eye on this. Let me just go check the other kale plants. Actually, before I pop down to the kale plants, I've just found a nest. Take a look there on the leaves. So we've definitely got to get rid of this because this is only going to cause more issues, which is nothing but eggs in there. So these poor plants at the top, I feel bad I didn't get up here soon enough, but that's just the name of the game. When you got so many other things going on in plants and stuff like that, we do our best, right? So let me just pop on over to the other kale plants. These kale plants have zero damage on this end, so I'm going to say just a lot of those caterpillars sort of spread over onto the other plants, and I do have to go check my broccoli. But the kale on this side seems to be okay. I don't see any evidence of any excrement or anything inside the plants. So we're just going to hop on over to the broccoli and see what... I know there's definitely going to be damage there, so let's go peek. Yep, so here is some excrement that obviously the caterpillars are leaving behind, so we've got to inspect these plants. Broccoli is, I find, a little bit harder and trickier to look at in terms of trying to find the bugs, and you can tell that they've been, you know, chomping on just on the broccoli. But when we go over here, we can see that they've been definitely at the broccoli, but this guy's almost at his time too, where he's gonna come out. Now, I'm going fairly fast, but you guys let me know if you see if I've missed something. We've got evidence of snacking on my leaves, of course, the holes. I do see a little bit of excrement here and there, but I'm not seeing worms. So guys, it's just one of those things, right? No matter what kind of plant you have, there's always going to be something that's attacking it. Now, obviously, you guys saw in one of my videos the difference between the broccoli plants in here and the difference in the broccoli plants out there, out in the raised garden beds. I mean, the broccoli out in the raised garden beds had zero zip chance this year of developing because the flea beetles actually just took them over and basically wiped out the 4 plants that I had. And I wasn't using row covers, so it was sort of an experiment to see, you know, how they would do on their own, and they did not do well. Yeah, so lots of evidence of chomping here. So we'll have to investigate into this plant too, take a look, pay attention, see what's going on. Definitely have weeds too that I have to pick. That's just it, guys. I just wanted to basically show you, you know, what's going on in terms of bug damage now inside, now that the, you know, the sort of the year is sort of going by now, and we're getting into our fall planting regardless. These broccoli plants actually are just on their last leg regardless, so we might even be taking them out a little bit earlier if the caterpillar damage is just too much. But I did lose track of the caterpillars, so somebody write me and tell me how many caterpillars that was on the plants. But yeah, we definitely have to make sure that we keep an eye on it here too, on the just on the plant here, because this is something else. Once they get in, it's hard to get them out. That's the problem. So I'm gonna keep an eye on my Brussels sprouts and my broccoli and go from there. That's all you can do, and do your best. I won't be doing any spraying because I just don't want the BTK over my food. I just don't want that. So just wanted to share that with you guys today. Maybe I'll pop out to the front garden and see what kind of damage is there, and sort of compare it to in here. But there have been quite a few cabbage moths that have been flying around in here, so it's no surprise to me that, you know, there's damage on the leaves. So I'm gonna pop out to the front garden and see if there's anything there. Over here, actually, just in the corner, I have a secret patch of broccoli I threw over here. And I only say that just because I sort of threw it in and forgot about it. But there is a little bit of evidence here that they're also in this particular patch. You take a look and see all the nice little holes that I've got in my leaves, so we'll have to take a look through here as well. These are newer broccoli. There's only about 10 plants or so. And they're just designed to just give me the one head, and then we're done and the plants come out. So I'm going to try and preserve them as long as I can, and hopefully, you know, we can get them to give us something before I pull them out. But the other plants in the raised bed are going to come out. I'm just going to save myself the headache. I mean, they're pretty much spent and ready to be pulled out regardless. So we're going to get rid of those, and I'm going to save myself some headaches that way, because I think that we just need to take out a lot of the cabbages and the things like that out of here, and then that way we can sort of mitigate this issue a little bit. So that's about it, guys. Of course, popping out to the pepper patch, if you look really, really, really closely, you can see what's putting holes in my pepper patches, right? He's been in here snacking. You can see that there's holes in my plants. So we've got, you know, obviously grasshopper issues out here too. We've got some holes in the plants there. And it's just so lovely when they climb out when you're watering, because you know that they're in here snacking. But you wouldn't even see them if you didn't look hard enough. It's been some kind of year for bugs, guys, honestly. So today's mission, unfortunately, is to cut off the last of the broccoli that we've got, the nice little spears that we've got happening. And we're gonna leave this this bed empty because it's got strawberries underneath it, so we're not going to plant anything else in here. A lot of the stuff is going to go outside. And that will be my mission for the day, is to defeat the worms. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get up and we're going to take another look through some of the Brussels sprouts up there and spray them down and that kind of stuff. No doubt I missed a few up there, but if you guys saw any on camera, let me know. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys, and all the new subscribers and everyone that's given me a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it because you're getting the word out there. Thanks so much for joining me. See you soon.